go on a Monday. Very big Monday. What do you think, everybody? How do you feel today? Probably a lot better than a week ago. Maybe 2 weeks ago. Big shout out to the chat. Glad everyone can make it today. It's a celebration, right? It's a crypto celebration. If you have been following this market for the last whatever many months, you know it has not been a fun ride. But here we are. Big stuff. I mean, this is about as huge as it could be. I think we're going to start right with Ethereum and get into it. Big shout out to everybody in the chat. Thanks for showing up today. This is the Harmonic Pattern Podcast, number 108. We're here Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday at 12 noon. And I think if for those that have been following along for what we have been doing, we couldn't have nailed it better. And what is happening, what we're seeing currently, couldn't be stronger. It could not. It's just not. You're seeing altcoins explode. You're seeing the perfect check back. You're seeing the potential and the power of Harmonic Strength Index. Looks like this. We have come out of the zone on amplified RSI across the board. Bitcoin, Ethereum, total, all those altcoins, all of those patterns that have materialized are, they're being realized in major ways now with incredible explosions. That is just the start of what we're looking for, I would say, in this reactive recovery that we have been talking about for weeks. And I think it really started on the 21st of June. Remember, we were talking about Bitcoin trying to make some kind of low. Well, let's go. This is just fantastic. Really very happy to see this whole thing work out the way it did. And it's even stronger than I imagined. That's been the thing. That has really been an interesting thing. The price action in crypto in terms of the harmonic pattern framework has been happening stronger, faster, really kind of taking shape quicker than in a lot of instances where I'm waiting for more time, and then bam, hits the numbers, smack, does a check back. I mean, this is just beautiful. I mean, this is textbook right here. Remember 1040? Remember Thursday, everybody? 1040. Okay, we got the check back as low as 1010. We're up 0% off the low. 50% off the low. That's huge. Those kind of moves, that kind of stuff, that kind of power, you have to respect. And I want to address just one thing. I know it's a nothing. It's a non-event, okay? But someone, tweeted something to me over the weekend that I was guessing. Get back. Someone said basically, get back to the TA and stop guessing or trying to predict the future. Folks, I'm not predicting the future. I'm laying out the harmonic pattern framework. That's it. And when we measure properly, when we apply the proper sequence of confirmation, pattern completion, all of that, this is what it's all about. I mean, this is, can you do it in real time? I mean, here was the tweet. I just want to address this because I'm never guessing. I'm always measuring. And I just think that with something is so accurate that we have nailed over the last, not only, we have been talking about the formation of this reaction for over a month, and we knew it would take a couple of weeks, and then once it registered, we said it was official, And then once we got the check back, we went into reactive phase. That's how it goes. And I just not appreciate that, James. And I just don't, it's not that I care. It's not that I care about the thing. And I always appreciate the criticism because I believe criticism is usually constructive if you have an open mind. But this is what we do. We do harmonic patterns here. We do the harmonic pattern framework to get results like this. Okay, to get this kind of thing. How do you get a 50% move off of in less than 2 weeks? You better have the right strategies. So with all that being said, folks, this is big stuff, and let's get everybody to where you can hook up. If you are new here, please go over to harmonictrader.com and become a basic member. Just simply go to the main page and sign up, hit register now, and go there. Now, what I think everyone needs to do, if you're not with the software currently, please, you need to get with Harmonic Pattern Collection. Start with TradingView. Why? Because Harmonic Strength Index, the primary trigger that we've talked about for weeks and then highlighted in all of our sessions last week, is only found here. Okay, and this is the beauty of Harmonic Strength Index. I mean, it took me years to work on this to get this indicator where it is today. So please take advantage of that. Follow our sessions. Okay, get involved with the materials. As I was saying, take a look at the books, take a look at the webinars, and then after a few weeks of trying all that out for free, and then following these sessions, you guys are going to understand where we are in terms of our analysis, our strategies. We do harmonic patterns. I do the harmonic pattern framework. Yes, I do I do technicals implicitly, technical analysis. And again, I always recommend, if you're new to technical analysis, go over and see Mitch Ray. Go spend some time with Mitch Ray, because he does probably the best all-around technical show, bar none. And then here, we're focusing on the harmonic pattern framework. More specific, okay, requires a little bit of knowledge, but that's why we do it the way we do it. So we can understand what the patterns mean, when you get confirmation, when you don't. Are we reaction? Are we reversal? Because we're now in an A1 position for a sizable reaction. And the beautiful thing about the type 1 reactions is that once they get going, they can take off and be quite reactive. That's why they're called type 1 reactions. Here's Bitcoin on the futures. The one thing I was looking for was a 3-bar breakout. Get above. We close above this high, this prior high at 22,500 tonight. You can consider this completely on. And we should get ourselves back up minimum 25.5. Look, but a whole type 1 move is 34,184. That's the type 1 target. That's the framework in action. And just follow the framework. Where are we in the framework? Where were we on Thursday? We were at check back. Turn the light switch on. Let's rock and roll. And now we get things like Ethereum above 1,500. And I was saying we could probably get to about 1,800. All right, there's a few things to consider here. We've got some major patterns, no doubt. I mean, we've got some big stuff going on across the board. On the weekly time frame for Ethereum, let's just do a full 382, right? We talked about this could possibly be an ABCD, which I think it is. I'm thinking more it's an ABCD. And so a 382 off the bottom gets you to 2450. Yeah, I said it, 2450. You're trading 1,500. Plenty of time. What's going on, David? How you doing today? James, appreciate that. Hope you feel better soon. Swooping Hawk, what's up, my man? And Sniper Goat, you guys are always here. Glad to have you. Den's Crypto, welcome, Den's Crypto. You just want to ask about the proper way of using Harmonic. The bat pattern should be at an 886. Okay, these kind of questions are great. And they just take a little bit of education. You go over to the basic members, please. If you want to know about patterns like that, just click on the volume 1 book and read all of the metrics of, now this is going to take a minute to load. Read all the measurements, okay? And then get the trading view version. Now, I think everyone should learn the basic measurements, and most of the basic patterns are here in the volume 1 if it ever loads. That was the first book. So, all of the metrics are laid out clearly and how to measure and everything in this volume 1 book, and why we use specific ratios and how they're related. I mean, what makes them harmonic? It's all in that book, okay? But here's the thing. If you've come this far to learn about the books and the harmonics and the patterns and the measurements, you have to get with the software so that it'll do the work for you, and you will facilitate your learning curve immensely. So if you're curious of what goes with a bat pattern, an 886 and this and that, use the software, okay? You run through the software and go through everything that we talk about. I want to jump over to this Bitcoin chart because, believe it or not, Bitcoin is lagging, even though it has it's in a good position. It's just not moving nearly as much. I think there's a lot of room for Bitcoin to run. We get a close above these prior highs, anything above 22.6. I was saying last week, anything above 21,000 would seal the deal, and this has and more. Then we look at our altcoins exploding, and I think they're really going to start to move now. So I just hope that everyone realizes that this isn't a one-off experience. There are definitive reasons why I structure everything the way I do. I make the stuff free for starters to get everybody involved, so that you can see what's going on here. I mean, I'm really happy with how this has exploded like this. Okay, did I think it would explode to this degree this fast? No, I thought it maybe take till the end of the month. This is shaping up more quickly than I realized. And one of the beautiful things about harmonic patterns, once they get going and they exhibit individual reactive traits, an individual day, week, several days, confirmation, then you know something bigger is unfolding. Let's jump over to a couple of the ones that we've been highlighting recently. Check out Sandbox. All right, Sandbox ready to do a move and bust out of this whole zone. Big bat pattern at 108, okay? The weeklies, this is the interesting thing with a lot of these weekly patterns. We are so early. And I've been talking about these monster weekly patterns for a while. Today's the first day you're really showing signs of what could happen here. On the weekly chart, it doesn't stop until we hit target 1. That's how to treat all of these weekly, daily patterns, whatever. Line up your target 1 and get ready for launch. Let's take a look at a couple other big individual charts with monster patterns. For Bitcoin, this is something as well that I'm just going to do a broad overview, but I got to say that a lot of these big weekly patterns, do your scans on weekly patterns. Okay, look at this. Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, folks. I talked about this last week, and actually the week before, of why this secondary vehicle for Bitcoin is telling us a lot. It really is. The fact that we have spent 5 weeks going sideways, now breaking out on a 3-bar reversal. That's a strategy that we use to really differentiate nominal price gyration from something material, substantial. Nice gap up today to start the week for the trust. And even this one, target one's at 29.66. It's just how we walk through it. It's just how we walk through the process. We have gone into type 1 reaction, folks, across the board. Bullish, by the way, if you needed clarification on that. And I think it's going to come fast because everybody is short. It's something I've been thinking about where the extreme fear index, a lot of this has remained at all-time levels, yet the price action has dried up in the past month. Ever since that big drop in early June, and then the stabilization around the 21st of July. And please go look at the sessions we were talking about in mid-June, late June, where it looked terrible. And we were wondering if we were going to get that full flush to our all-time numbers or what. I mean, again, we were looking at Ethereum to go to 680, and we were looking for Bitcoin to go to 11.5 on their as a capitulation move. All right, capitulation move. What happened? They got to some intermediate numbers and absolutely dried up on the way down, which is the kind of what we've been talking about since, I don't know, the beginning of the month. Here's Ethereum. Let's get Ethereum back on there. Actually, interesting pattern now generating on the 4-hour. Okay. But since the 21st, across the board, that was the low. And look at those sessions from that week, third week of June, and let this be a lesson too that, look, we don't need to be doing, it's not really trying to do astrology or anything like that. It's just recognizing cycles. We have been seeing these crypto markets put in important inflections around the seasonal equinoxes. And again, I'm more about measurements. And we had a lot of measurements there. It's just that we recognize some larger repetitive cycles, put on our patterns, and let's go. And there's a lot to go on here. Let's rifle through, folks. I'm going to rifle through about 10 S coins that everyone should be paying attention to. And again, there's plenty of time here. Don't get me wrong. It's not that I'm saying go jump this second, but a lot of these altcoins haven't even moved yet. They have not moved relative to some big patterns. Here's Cardano. Okay, big bat pattern. It has vacillated between basically 40 and 50 for the last month. The big XA on that bat's 43. We're now trading 49. Anywhere in this 43, 44 level is fair game going forward, and we know we're at an all-time 886 on Cardano. Weekly, drying up, and we had HSI. Again, a lot of the coins that completed their HSIs on the weekly either did it 3 weeks ago or 2 weeks ago and then checked back the subsequent week. Now, this reversal and breakout that happens thereafter is indicative of something more in development. Not to mention the real easy interpretation of draw your downtrend. Okay? Draw the downtrend. And as soon as we take out this downtrend on Cardano and a lot of the other ones, you're going to see this thing start to break free. Thank goodness. Where can it go? Well, off the top, I would look at all of these. Okay, really easy. And especially if you look at the volume one book of why we use these numbers of a 382 as a minimum level. Okay, $1.44 on Cardano. That's one. Two, algo. Okay, another all-time 886. You tell me, folks. Sitting at a weekly 886, basing, stabilizing, 6-7 weeks now. Really nice amplified RSI. A lot of these RSIs have stabilized coming out of the zone. Again, minimum reactions get these suckers much higher for algo. Bang, 382. Yeah, it's about $1.27 or so. I know there's on the daily, I think there's a crab here. Yes, sure is. Look at this. It's a bat. All right, so the software's got a bat pattern, and that's what I would go off of. This hop level at 36.71, great number. Your confirmation came in a couple weeks ago around 28 cents, but it's still at the hop off that bat. Book it. Next one. All right, we'll go to Avalanche. Here's Avalanche. That's another one. Big bat pattern. Look, these are all underneath their XAs. Your XA level was 25. You're still trading 23. That's just getting going now. Put that one down. There you go. Who requested that one? Wrap. You wanted AXS. You didn't want. Here's AXS. Axie Infinity. Another pattern. Big shark pattern. You know, this has been something on my mind for the last month with all of these patterns that have officially registered on the software and all-time 886s and weekly. Look, here's Axie Infinity. Okay, check back. Happened perfectly last week at, what was that low? The low was 13. Last week's low, 12.28. Now 16. This has got a ways to go. If this is the low, okay, or a temporary low for now, we'll just overlay a 382, 71, 72. If you want to be really conservative, use a 236 number. 236. I don't talk too much about, but it's kind of like your smallest allowable harmonic level. 48 bucks. 48 bucks. Let's keep it over. Remember band? Band and bond? Check this out. Here's band. Deep crab. Okay, confirmation came in pretty early. It's just going sideways forever at about $1.49. Trying to pop up. Target one at 290. Let's keep it going. Here's that bond. Remember this puppy? This is what I'm thinking could happen with some of these altcoins. Doesn't look like much because it went to 80 or 60 or whatever. Let me get a better chart. All of that noise. What is it down here? I know there was a crab on here or something. It was either a crab or this. Oh no, this was just a weekly HSI. Okay, I'm not chasing that one, but I think that's a good example of what could happen. Chili's. Looks like I'm going to have to roll back into this puppy. Crab pattern, confirmation, all the way back at 9 cents. Now trading 11.5 cents. Target one at 17. That's back on. That's back on. Let's keep it going. Okay, you guys want DOT? Oh, here's crypto.com at 13 cents. Go get it. It bottomed, confirmation at 10 cents. Target 130. Let's keep it going. DOT. Good old Polkadot. Looks like this Ethereum merge is really something. I'll talk about that in a second. All right, here's DOT, Polkadot. I think Polkadot's just an all-time 886. Yeah, it sure is. All the way back to this 886 level. Oh, also Polkadot's a weekly HSI. Perfect check back. The low is 660. You're trading 754. Look, if this thing gets above $8, 850, it's gone. Next one, Gala. No. Let's go Ethereum. We know Ethereum right now, folks, I'm going to say 1800 is first target. But if I'm right about this, I am right about the ABCD. It's an ABCD. Okay, and is it a Gartley? This is the real thing we need to consider. If Ethereum is a Gartley, we have the ABCD. Your 786 comes in all the way at around 1150. And I think that's what it is. And that's okay. I mean, we were looking for a bat pattern. We got confirmation. So we were looking for reaction. And I was even saying this for a while, last couple of weeks, just saying, look, no matter what, we get a reaction up here. Okay, we can get a reaction, and then maybe later this fall, come back down like this, back down for a retest. Sure, that could still happen. But between now and then, you go back to that trend line. It gets you to about 1800. I think Ethereum 1800. Some of these others, Engine Coin, this is another. I think that was a daily. No, that's a weekly, just an 886, and you have HSI, and it hasn't even started to move yet. I mean, that's amazing. That thing was 30-something cents. 450 at the high. Now 56 cents. Oh, it's a bat. There it is on your Binance feed. It's beautiful. And it's so early. I mean, it's the beautiful thing about harmonic patterns. So once you get this experience, and that's what I really want to talk about today is experience, because as I said last week, these weekly setups are giving us kind of like a slow motion example where we can walk through the whole framework over and over again, applying it step by step, day by day, week by week. It takes time, but no problem. We're seeing it play out as it should. Another one with Engine Coin, target 1 up at 214. Look, this is going to take time. And the other consideration is start the 30 bar count, in this case 30 weeks. So we go from basically May 9, where that officially completed, and then stretch it out. Where's 30 weeks? Get you into December. So let's look for that. Let's look for that. The only thing that would stop me on something like this is give me a counter trend HSI. Maybe we had a bearish HSI that popped up on my way to target 1. Okay, we've already come a fair bit. Here's Engine Coin. We're above the 50 line, but these are where the accelerations should occur. Go from 50 to 88.6, and you get price to continue. And I mean on a serial bar over bar, week over week fashion where you're not going to take out last week's low. You've done the check back, so the low at 44 cents or below that is in. Couple more. Ethereum Classic, I have no idea why this is doing this thing other than it was totally overdone. I do think there's a weekly situation there. Yeah, this weekly HSI. Okay, I think there's better opportunities, but hey, all of that is moving. Ethereum now above 1510. Couple more. Hex. Somebody wanted Hex. No, I don't have anything against Hex. In fact, if you recall where we were calling for the Gartley, we now have a bullish crab. Remember the Gartley at 20 cents? We killed that puppy. That was right here. There was the Gartley. Okay? Guess what? Now we have confirmation. Now we have some things to work on. So I'd say that pattern over, not to mention broke the downtrend off of that pattern. Nice work. And go to, your weekly. Here's a thing to consider as well. All of these weekly HSIs that triggered, if it was 2 or 3 weeks ago, and then checked back. For Hex, that was at the low, is at 3.26 cents. Yeah, hasn't moved much. Well, I mean, it's up almost 20%, 25%, but to really get going here, yeah, you could have a nice reaction, and that'd be a great sizable percentage move. So get it on the table there. Get it on the radar. You guys have a lot today. All right, LRC. How about KNC? So a lot of these other Ethereum layer 2 stuff. Again, I'm open to suggestions. If anyone can throw out some ideas of, you know, what might be things to look at, so be it. This is not as good as LRC. LRC has a big pattern. Here's LRC. Oh yeah, look at these patterns in LRC. Big bat pattern with a smaller bat in the consolidation zone. Love it. 36 cents, 35.30. That's your low end 886. And the weekly had a check back. That's right, last week. Yes, it did. That check back was about 35 cents, now 42, 43. It's there, and you're quite early. You're so early in this development that you're barely off the lows. I'm actually long that. That's one of the ones I'm long. I'll share with you some of the others that I'm long. Go a few more. Oh, we can't get away without Matic here. This beautiful. Look at the crab, or sorry, the shark on the weekly. Look at that. And Matic is exploding. And this one has been doing things in the last several sessions, last several days. I don't see why Matic can't go to target 1. This is Matic. Isn't this Polygon? Matic is the symbol. Yeah. Big development here. That's up 26% today. A couple more. Here's one that I like, Scale. Okay, I think this is a nice speculative one where HSI checked back. Where's the pattern though? Where is it? What is kind of a shark, a type 2, in a really terrible area. I thought this was a big bat or something. I'll have to come back to this. I am long Scale. And right here at this check back at basically 4.8 cents. It's fair game anywhere from here down to 5 cents. Go for it. Solana, same deal. Actually better. Look at this bat pattern. This will probably go into my next book. I'm only kidding. There's not going to be any future books, but this is textbook. Solana on the Binance feed, huge bat pattern. Check back right there at 33 bucks, $32. And now we're about to get a 3-bar breakout. 3-bar breakout happens above 41.50. Would be great to see it above 42 or 43 by the end of the week. And then here you go. You go into assault for target 1 at 120. These are, look, there's a lot of work between now and the future to get to target 1. But the thing that you come to learn when you go through a few of these experiences with harmonic patterns and completions is once those triggers go and they're valid and they give you the right response, as we're seeing happen here, okay, your plan is target 1. You just need to determine when it goes into reaction phase. That's what all last week and the week before were all about, to check back and stabilize and get going. So every day now, from now on, hope you're not planning to go on vacation like I am, but I think this month we're going to pay attention. Look at that daily. I mean, that daily is just perfect. There's the last arrow. It came back, checked back 6 days ago. This is just starting to go. I think even retesting the zone, the 886 level at $50 is no stretch. What defines a 3-bar breakout? It's a pretty easy technique, standard 1-bar, 3-bar technique, but what you need to see is you look at the prior 3 bars, whatever that is, okay, and you need a close above it. That's the key. So here's the low. 1, 2, 3. Did you really close above it? No, not really. Not above the prior high. That one's probably a 3-bar. Not bad. And then this one is just a continuation of the 3-bar. That's a clean breakout. Ethereum, I think, is probably the best example of a 3-bar breakout. Look, check this out. On your, Bitcoin. Let's go Bitcoin. Bitcoin on the daily because of the big pattern. Like this. It's not out of the zone yet. Almost. Really need to see this close above the last 3 bars. I would even want to venture to say, give me a close above that 22.5 to really clear out the whole range. Yeah, on the weekly is a better way to look at this because come Sunday, look, 1, 2, 3. The previous high was around 22.5. You want to see Bitcoin above 22,500. Keep an eye on it. Let's go a couple more. I mentioned Sandbox. What about Decentraland? Okay. Still early. But look, weekly check back on Mana. Came out. Checked back at 80 cents last week. Starting to rally. Here's the pattern. Look at this. Big bat pattern. Deep in the zone, your XA level is at 118, so you're only 91 cents. Not to mention, check out the downtrend. It's about to get clipped. These are good things. These are very good positions to be in for longs. You need to see this thing pop above really like 105, 106 to get going with target 1 at 258. Mateus, if your trading view is not picking up the pattern, check your data feed. Sometimes, because it's not a centralized market, you're going to get differences in your data which will affect the patterns. So just make sure if whatever pattern you missed it on, if it's Binance or Gemini, if you'll see to my right, I usually have multiple data feeds of the same symbol. Just to double check, triple check. Keep an eye on those kind of things. 1 or 2 more. So what's this? This is Poly. Yep. And XA level, basically 17 cents. That's on a daily. The weekly here, I think was, no, this was a daily. And again, deep in the zone. Just starting to get out. And today, if you can get these to register a 3-bar breakout, okay, that's a great acceleration identification technique where then it should follow through and you should see that continue. I'll get into that continuation in a second, but here's another one. This REN broke out of the downtrend. We talked about that last week, and I think there's a weekly. Yeah, look, this is one of these crypto that was supposed to be like, I think a level, a layer 2. That's all right. I just want to know about HSI, the check back, the breakout. I mean, it was beautiful at about 9 cents, 10 cents, now trading 15. And here's the thing that's interesting with all of them. Their weekly amplified came out over the last several days. This one's been a little while longer, but That's what we're looking for. That's what we're looking for. Okay, I'm getting down to the X's. A lot of you guys wanted, we did Solana, did Scale. Let's see here. XRP, XLM. Here's XLM. Big weekly started last week. Then you got the check back somewhere around 12 cents generally. I know there's a big pattern here. It's on the daily. Yep. Interestingly enough, most of the patterns, the big ones, are on the weeklies. If not, check your dailies. But look at this. XLM, 2 crab patterns. A big one and a small one. When that happens, and we've seen that happen, okay, yes, you favor the big one, but look for both of them to complete. XLM, anywhere around this 11-cent level, should get you up to at least 15, 16 cents. A lot going on here. XRP, we know the story. XRP is an even bigger pattern on the weekly. The weekly. Look at that bat pattern. How many are we looking for? We're ripping through. Maybe a dozen now. HSI checked back 31 cents. You're trading 36. This is so early. But all we need is a breakout, 3-bar breakout. That puts you above 37, 38 cents. That should get it going. And even if it's just a small reaction, you're talking 50% move minimum, and then the target one ultimately on that crab or on that bat pattern is triple almost where you are now. A lot going on here. Zcash, another weekly that just triggered last week, depending on your feed. I thought this had something down here. Oh, this is an all-time 886. Yeah. All-time 886 right here. But there's other patterns, and how I would favor these would be to look at the ones where the software has generated the pattern. But look at that. I mean, there's your 886 at $60, and you do a 382 move, 190. Definitely check out the pattern metrics. Den's Crypto's asking again. He's asking, look at the book and then go through and look at these examples on your own. Like stuff like this XRP. I mean, this is a beautiful and ideal bat pattern. It's an M formation. Your B point is where it needs to be. Your A, B, C, D elements all combine at the XA level at 31. And that's the starting point. Then with the HSI arrow right there, that's what we've been talking about the last few weeks. So since that triggered and then retested, that's the final move that gets us to actionable opportunities. We're now in business. So welcome new people. I'm glad we got new people here. We got a few more. Waifu Hunter is asking, as a trader, do you wait for the retest to buy or BTC breakout? Well, here's the thing. The trigger we were talking about the last few weeks checked back. In most cases, it was last week or the week before. And we're still in the zone. So technically, yeah, you could break it down and look for an area within this zone, this larger zone for an entry. But with a day like today, you're starting the breakout. Like Ethereum, it's probably a little too late to jump in. You'd have to let that come in a little bit. But some of these others that are lagging, or even Bitcoin is still in the zone. Yeah, you could line it up on just look to take shots down in here. Here's XRP. Here's a great example. Okay, XRP on an hourly basis. Running into a crab pattern, type 1. Prior bullish bat on an hourly. We know that the whole zone between basically 31, 33 on the weekly and daily are big numbers, big support zone. All right, but we're hitting a bearish pattern right now. Maybe what we do is we get a pullback off of this, or maybe another pattern to develop on the hourly. Maybe come in here by Thursday and we get a pullback, and then you go. Something like that. Some of these that are up 10, 20% today, no, you can't chase those. But if you don't have them on your radar yet, by all means, get them loaded up. Here's this sandbox that I've been talking about for a while. Looks like it wants to go to the hop level at 140 for right now. But again, we've been on this, been saying, look at this down at 105. And we had a few opportunities that knocked on the door a few times here. Let's go to, I think Bitcoin's probably the one that is lagging. You did have that perfect check back at around 19,000. We talked about that on Thursday. Okay, and this probably needs a little bit more time. Looks like Ethereum does want to be the feature coin of the week or month. Let's check out that dominance chart. No problem. Somebody wants to look at that. Where'd you go? Where'd it go? Here it is. Bitcoin dominance. It's a big bat pattern. Oh, no, this is a shark pattern. We talked about this. Down around 40%. So that could be another way to look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin comes back, retests that XA level around 39.50, 40 cents, okay? Oh, here's a bat pattern on that. So that's explaining why Bitcoin's lagging. Not a heck of a lot, though, to go on in terms of saying, all right, there's something immediate. But let's stay focused on that. I'll come back to this maybe tomorrow or Thursday. Let's take a look at the total chart. The thing we talked about on Thursday was, and even earlier in the week, was the peculiar fact that, get back here, we had some unique conditions in something like total 3. Okay? So we were talking about this market and these total indices without Ethereum and Bitcoin being in a better position than say Bitcoin or Ethereum. Here's the daily, you had a big pattern. Here's the weekly. It's kind of an ugly bat pattern. This is total index number 3. But look, you had the bat pattern, and there was the arrow we drew last week. It completed, but the confirmation doesn't come in until back in here. And we look for the retest against that bar. That's how we determine our entries. That's why everyone needs the software, because our primary trigger and confirmation is harmonic strength index. That's a proprietary indicator. You can use relative strength, but with HSI, you know, I mean, I just find HSI more accurate, works well in combination with the patterns. RSI is still complementary. Definitely we want to see that, because stuff like our bottom indicator, that's really amplified RSI, another proprietary measure, but the same theory. All right, we're looking at that to see where it comes out of the extreme, and now it's starting to move, and we should get above that 50 level pretty soon and get out of this hole. So those are some of the things to be aware of. The total index came up, it kissed 1 trillion, okay, just last night, and backed off of 1 trillion, but the check back that happened, all of that at around 800 and what was it, 840 billion. This is still in reaction phase, because look at your downtrend off the top. There, all right, bring down the downtrend. All right, and here's the arrows, same arrows. I didn't move these from last week. We're looking for something like this. Come up, give me a reaction, and then we'll deal with this a little later in a month or a couple months of give me a strong reaction up and then back down. But for now, it's on. It's on for reaction. And we could play that. How high? Up to the overbought. We'll deal with it when we get to 88.6 minimum on Harmonic Strength Index. Also, for total crypto on the weekly, we should expect this now, and I mean now, in the next week, 2 weeks, to go up to the minimum 50 line on amplified before we see a pullback. So this could mean another week or 2 weeks of what I call serial reversal behavior, where every week continues higher low, higher high, week over week. It's pretty exciting stuff. Hey, it's better than what we were dealing with back in February, March, April, May, even early June. And a lot of room to run. For us, where we are in the harmonic pattern framework, you know, these little micro moves have enormous significance. One or two more. Here's Monero. Look at this one. Weekly. Type 2. I think we talked about this last week. Did we get the... Let me see here. Almost got that perfect HSI confirmation. I think maybe it was on one of them. Yeah, this was really close right there. But it's a type 2 butterfly. So Monero not only has the pattern, but it's type 1 reaction all the way straight back down. Type 2 right at the hop at 110. Now trading 146. But in this situation, we look for target 2, which suggests we go back to 260. So just take what I'm saying here and follow along. I feel like where it really helps is when we do things like we've done over the last several weeks and everyone can follow through session over session and things unfold slowly, especially on these weekly charts, so that you can really digest what's happening. And that's what we see here. It's, you know, when you're looking at old charts and patterns, it's difficult to really get the feel. And I just want everyone to realize that, look, the pattern framework is a uniform, consistent application of the same rules and strategies, no matter what the market, what the time frame. Make some assessments in terms of management, but all in all, we apply that same set and sequence of strategies no matter what. And where we are in this phase, stage of the framework is a really great spot to be reactively bullish up to some targets. Longer term, we'll deal with that later. For now, you're seeing what can happen when a real reaction takes hold. And beyond that, everything else, look, it'll all settle out. Here's one more. VeChain. Look at this. Look at this VeChain. Okay? How about that one? I don't think I brought this one up previously. But here's beautiful bat pattern. And we just connect dots. There's X to A. Okay, A to B. B's at a 50%, almost spot on. C point at a 78.6. Right down to your 886, which is right there. About 3.5 cents. But here's the beautiful thing. Confirmation, which came after the fact, as it always should. Look, here's completion of the pattern. But there's your confirmation, and then check back on a weekly basis, folks. That check back at 2.12 cents was hit last week perfectly, and now we're up. And this has a ways to go. This thing hasn't even started to move yet. This is VeChain. Really like that one. This is one of these where you could easily get a target one move. Do your 30-week. Go into your 30-bar count. We could go 30 bars from the confirmation point just to give you a little bit more time, or you can go from terminal bar, but you can see that this is still going to take, get you in the end of the year or January. So line up these. I will be delivering more because I think there are several more that haven't even moved yet. But if you've got Ethereum doing the move it's doing, and if Bitcoin starts to catch a bid, look, these other S coins that are pennies on the dollar, this was 25 cents. It's now 2 cents. Most of these that have lost 90 or 95%, if they're not going to go out of business, then this is the place and the time to start looking to take shots. Again, just reaction. I'm not making any kind of news cycle call. I'm just talking as a trader here. We got actionable triggers looking for this kind of a bump. And then, again, maybe we come back down for a type 2 later on. But if we're there with confirmation, this is why confirmation is so important on type 1 reactions. Okay? That you get it really early, really early. But that's the thing. When you get the experience, okay, then you know the small little moves have a lot, they hold a lot of significance. So, what's up, Paris? What's up, Paris? Paris Fisher, PGA. What is the best entry for a long based on the harmonics? You need these books. Well, get the books. Do you have volume 3, my man? Because on Thursday, we're going to give out more books. So make sure you show up Thursday and you get a book. But for the entry, for something like this, we know the weeklies have all triggered. So maybe just break it down on a 4-hour. All right, that's up quite a bit. I mean, it's a pretty huge run. But in the 4-hour chart, you got a bunch of support down here, 2.3 cents. 2.25, somewhere like there. If we can get a little bit of a pullback, maybe this base is a little bit more. But I would be looking now because the trigger happened really in terms of the weekly, like right there, like a week ago. Maybe even say 2 weeks ago, depending on the market. So any little nominal pullback against support on a 4-hour, hourly, has the potential to get more going once it can get off the floor. Even on this 4-hour chart here for VeChain, you got a Gartley right at the bottom, ugly, but it's valid. Where if I'm looking at 2.4, 2.3, so really where it is now, should get you to 3 cents. Do we need amplified RSI for confirmation? Yes, we do. And that's what we were waiting on. We got it. The check back that we were looking for on the weekly charts on a lot of these, there's a beautiful chart, just happened. Some are slightly different than others, but the amplified did come off the floor. And that was the thing about 3 weeks ago for Ethereum and Bitcoin, where the amplified RSI was still in the oversold. Let's show you that. Look at this Ethereum. Remember this? Go back to our sessions even end of the month or beginning of the month. We were deeply oversold in here. And I was saying we need to get out. Like right there was really the point we were looking for. But we could trace this out. And I was tracing this out before the fact that, look, we're getting a W that is a complex structure in the RSI or amplified RSI formation that should then bring us up to the 50 level on that move, then come back later. But this definitely helped the reaction and the location of the entry. That 1040, that was just spot on. Spot on. All of these are up 5 or 10% already. Yes, they are. A lot of them are. But you need to get ready to go if you haven't gone yet. Plenty of time. Not that it's saying that you have to jump in right now, but any pullback? I mean, pull up a 5-minute chart, pull up a 30-minute chart. You're just looking for the next couple of intraday, maybe bullish patterns or pullbacks to find a spot to jump onto. I think it's these are going to take time, and yeah, we will have a pullback, but this kind of basing and even let me come back to this chart really quick. The not grayscale, but the Bitcoin futures chart. There you go. This is a really, it's not an easy situation because it's so delayed. It's an ugly pattern, but we can't deny the fact that this 19,400 level on Bitcoin futures is trying to throw a floor underneath this whole decline. And you got to remember, this thing's been straight down since 67,000. So what could possibly get this going? Well, you are out of, there's amplified popping out and getting above 50, which is good. Here's standard RSI, okay, trying to get above the 50 level. If standard RSI can get above a 50 level, then you can see this thing really start to build. Again, above 22.5 or so, yeah, you should see that acceleration come off the floor into some kind of reaction. I'm thinking your next levels will go overbought on HSI and you will do some kind of inflection there. But does that happen at 25 or 28,000, something like that? This is going to play catch up. I'm surprised Bitcoin hasn't moved more. So just to let everybody know, for gold members, wanted to highlight something that I just popped up. I put up a new 3 ideas today, this morning. So do check. Let me bring it up. Check the gold members section on the website to get those updates. And most of these are just reactions. I want that, again, don't get me wrong. All right. And I'm not trying to moon it here. I'm not trying to shill the moon. I'm just saying we want to think aggressive reactions. Go over to your gold members page for all subscribers. Those that have bought the program, you get 30 days, although I'm pretty flexible. Others can get more. Contact me. And then right here, live sessions. So that was posted this morning. Check out those. The one that I wanted to share with everyone from the 3 ideas, there's actually 4 ideas in there, but Riot Blockchain, among others. Oh, let me go over to the other platform here. Let's go to Riot. Riot is up big. It did a weekly check back. All right, that's why you do have some, a lot of, like the rest. I mean, you've got several things here. You have an all-time 886 on the weekly. Check that out. I mean, there's your 886, like that. That's not really even all-time. The daily is a big crab, all the way down at your hop level of 536. This is still early. Still early. Ways to go. But if you're not in on Riot, or you haven't looked at Mara or some of those others, or even MicroStrategy to a lesser extent, not a problem. I mean, that's only up 10% today. I thought that would be up more. MicroStrategy, yeah, that's at an 886. Check it out. All-time 886 is like this, approximated. The key is the fact that we had the check back on the weekly across the board. So let's see here, 4 hour, even an hourly. Yeah, see right now on the hourly, it's a great example. You're running into a bearish pattern, a Gartley coming up. So I'm not saying jump in on that. I'm like, let's wait for a pullback, something like that. Come back maybe to target 1. This will stair step. It's not going to, that's the natural market action working. But I want to line these up, and for the first time, probably since last year or last fall, we can take a look at some of these for a reaction. That's what I'm saying. Oh, someone asked for ApeCoin. You know, it's a garbage, but another, not much there. Just you've retested the full range of that release. Actually, let me get a better feed here for Ape. Binance, I think, is pretty good. Yeah, they're the same. ApeCoin, you know, I'm not too crazy about that. You know, as versus other ones that have patterns. Yeah, that's, I think. Yeah, there you go. 4-hour chart. You got a few things around $4, but there's a lot better patterns out there. Much better. The ones that I mentioned, the whole list, I think it would be good to just pop them. Claire can't see anything in the gold members. Stephanie, try to help Claire, please. Alec is saying BTC being weaker is big bearish, but the shit coins will get a nice bid. Maybe. Again, we're thinking reaction here, folks. We're not. I just want to see a reactive move after this long malaise. And that's all I'm looking for down here. Can this thing pop and give you something like here's FTX. All right, bunch of patterns on the 4-hour, the daily. Look at this, FTX. That sucker is nice. We talked about that last week. We had the check back at 23, 24. Target one's at 36. Maybe that comes back to 26 or 27. I will stay on top of this. A lot of these 4-hour patterns are retesting, hitting some secondary tests of some bearish patterns. So just be patient with it. But if you haven't lined these up the way that we've been talking about for the last several weeks, get the ones that haven't moved and get them on your radar. I mean, the VeChain of the world and the algos and other ones like that. I think there's still further to go. Some of these other ones, like here's storage, and storage was it daily or weekly? Yeah, deep crab down here. Didn't get back. I was hoping that would be a type 2. Nope. But, you know, keep an eye on it. Most of them did have two of the following in common. Okay, most of these S coins have done the full 886 reset, meaning they have retested and basically done an 88.6% all-time retracement. From there, from your all-time low to all-time high, there's the 886 for storage, that's 54 cents. And then, just in the last week, 3 weeks, they have registered HSI. So if you're looking at your favorite crypto, those are the things you want to spot up. Those are the things where if you have it, you're stabilizing off an all-time 886. That's a pretty big inflection point to start the process. So just get ready. Look, plenty of time. I always believe there's plenty of time. Okay, no, there's no reason to chase anything, but I don't want to be dismissive of how big this is. Here's one more. That is this thing definitely, this BAT Brave token. We talked about this last week. Again, another kind of delayed reaction, deep crab. We have a secondary confirmation that was around 35 cents, is now 41. Minimum goes to 56 cents. A lot there. I mean, I'm really, again, if you're into crypto and you have been patient for the last many months, especially with the things we have talked about, just know this is a first reaction. Beyond that, all right, we'll take it as it comes. But a lot of these that were, the way to read them is they got just too oversold, volume dried up, went sideways, and now we're starting to do things with some patterns behind it. The other thing that I will look for into the end of the month is what happens on this progress as we go further to the right of these downtrends. You can go to just about all of them. I mean, here's Binance Coin, BNB on the daily. I'll tell you what, Binance Coin's really not going to be a difficult decision once it breaks that downtrend. And I don't care if it's 300 or 325, you get to over here. Once you start to bust this downtrend for Binance Coin, yeah, you are in business. There's no pattern here. We don't really nothing on Binance Coin that is appealing at the moment. Oh, we did have HSI. Okay, we had HSI, and HSI came in a couple weeks ago at 220. But the real move for Binance Coin won't happen until the right of that downtrend. But it's in a real good position for the first time since the peak at 600. This was not 90%, that was 75%. So, quick question. Can I comment on this reaction we're seeing at the 786 on BTC, not the 886? Could we be looking at a pattern instead of a bat? I don't know that other pattern. That's not a pattern. I know what you're getting at, though. The question is, what about 11.5? Are we going to, does this mean 11.5 is invalidated? Is it, and I said this about Ethereum too, okay, that maybe it's a Gartley. This is not really. I mean, this is the bat pattern that we have been anticipating, and that's again 11.886, 11.5, like that, something like that. But this is still just a reaction. We will see what happens on that. I don't think it is that other pattern. I won't mention it. And I did say over the last several weeks that what we could be looking at, just the early start where we get a reaction up to the trend line like that and then back down. That's about 28,000 for BTC and then back down. But the key here is that it's the first zone. It's the first level of support that's going to do something other than a straight off drop. Because look, since November, you've been essentially straight down. I mean, right there, it's about 10, 12 weeks straight down, followed by another 12 weeks straight down. The important thing is, what is the confirmation doing here? Because the confirmation just came out. I mean, that amplified move just popped probably today, really last night getting going. I think Ethereum is probably the more of the story. But I want to stick with those that have the patterns. Remember, Bitcoin is actually on the daily is a crab. It's ugly crab, but it's a crab pattern, depending on what your feed is. And that's around 19.7. What's the other one? Yeah, 19.7. There you go. That's another one. So a lot of these patterns, they might not be lining up in terms of your all-time formations, but you've got daily, you've got weekly, you got checkbacks that are all saying, okay, this is the spot for now. Look for, a short covering rally reaction off of these lows to at least end what has been going on for the first half of the year, at least. There's a lot going on. Yep, I agree. I agree with that. What was the other one? There was one other one I wanted to pop up here. I think I'll save it for tomorrow. Oh, Cardano. The Cardano thing. I don't know if I think I mentioned this. Look, Cardano was the weekly. I did get to it. Cardano weekly 886 at 47. This one is Not really anything but that all-time 886. So tell you what, let's hit it back tomorrow. Come on back, same time, and we'll get into some of the other markets. Are they doing a little bit more of the Bitcoin, or is this just going to be a fake out? Again, anything we see in the bullish side is going to be a reaction. So if you maintain aggressive management, we're not looking for anything explosive other than a short-term counter-trend rally. And if you are in doubt, look, the whole thing about busting out of these downtrend lines is what we will be addressing over the next few weeks, especially going into the end of the month. We have, 2 weeks from today will be the 1st of August. That will be a critical monthly close on all of your markets, because many of these are trying to put in a monthly candle in for like this is perfect. Cardano shows you that we've had one monthly bullish candle since last September. So that's, almost a full year. Can we at least get one stabilizing at the all-time 886? The monthly levels and metrics are going to be important come next week, so we'll be looking at those. But come on back tomorrow. We'll be back here at 12 noon. Again, thank you, everybody. Great session. Just get ready. If you weren't ready before, you now know what the patterns are. You know the levels. We're going to get other opportunities, so that's what we'll highlight tomorrow. We'll get into some of the big patterns on the stocks, crude oil. Nat gas did a big move, so let's talk about that stuff tomorrow. Until then, everyone have a great one.